right. All right, folks. New episode, Second String Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Bradley. We're presented by The Second String and thesecondstring.com. Appreciate everyone being here today. Appreciate you listening wherever you're listening, however it is you are listening. We got some good stuff today. Another quick one. I like doing these ones a little shorter. I like hopping in, getting the points off, talking about whatever it is that's infiltrated my brain that day and then getting out. I really do like doing it that way. Today, we're going to get back to the roots a little bit. Back to, I know a segment people enjoy. A segment, actually, I don't really get as many DMs or messages about the Second String Podcast. I get way more about the Detroiter. Obviously, the TikTok's kind of taken off. I mean, by my standards, it's taken off. But when I do get messages or people are like, oh, that was great, or you should do more of this, it's about the Second String Pod. It's confessions of a young professional. Always. People love it, and it makes sense. I think most of the people that listen are around my age, so like either college age where you've done some internships or right out of college where we're fucking here, baby. We're in the 9-to-5 life, and there is zero looking back. You could have eyes in the back of your head, no looking back. What I want to talk about today is changing your password on your company computer. I know it's about as niche as it gets. I know. Right when I said that, though, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. If you're working like a corporate 9-to-5 and they give you a piece of machinery, it might happen with phones too. I don't have a company phone, but I have a company computer, and it happened to me today. First time since I started my new job, I got that message. Hey, it's been a month. Change your password. I don't know what's going on here. Can we talk about this? Like, what exactly is the point of making me change my password every month? Because to be honest with you, the only output I'm seeing from enacting this tyrannical law is I'm going to forget what my fucking password is. And guess what happens when I forget my password is? I'm going to have to email somebody who doesn't care. I'm going to ask them, hey, also, since I'm new here, I don't know what it is I'm supposed to do when I forgot my password. And that person who not only barely knows who I am, doesn't care about the fact that I lost my password, and 3, they may not even totally remember how to recover a password. Now they have to stop whatever it is they're doing that's actually important, that's actually in their job description, that's actually relevant to them getting paid so their little kid can go to fucking hockey practice. Now they have to stop what they're doing to help me out to change my password. Do we see how that doesn't make any sense? Right off the bat, I feel like I couldn't have, credit to me, I feel like I couldn't have laid it out any better, why it makes almost no sense why we're changing passwords on our company computers on a weekly basis. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Why? Who do we think's trying to get into my computer? Because that's why it's there, right? Oh, we gotta, we can't just let that computer be getting into anyone's hands now. God forbid someone gets a hold of your computer. We can't just get, it's company secrets. We got important documents, important forms. What if they get on the server? Once they get into the server, who knows? Can we just backpedal here a little bit? I get you. I hear you. I understand at the fundamental level. I understand. Like, I have a brain, dude. I can think. I understand the point of changing the password every month or every 2 months or whatever it is for you and your corporation. I get the point of it. So your password's always new, it's more secure, no randoms get into the account, nobody has access to company materials. I get it, dude. I really do. Like, I'm a smart cookie, or at least I'm smart enough. Like, I don't know what a potato could put that thought process together. My question in rebuttal to that would be, who exactly do we think is trying to hack into my computer? Who exactly do we think is watching over my shoulder when I log in at 8:30 in the morning alone at my desk? How do we think this information is becoming available to the public? I don't really get that. Like, at what point does me changing my password actually keep anything secure, dude? So, I really don't get it. It'd be more secure if you forced me to carry my computer around in a locked briefcase than changing my password constantly. Like, there's a better chance I get hit by a car. somebody robs me and steals my computer and breaks into it that way than fucking watching me typing in my password or guessing based on my birthday and my mother's maiden name what my password might be. And I know what you're probably thinking. Did he just have a Freudian slip? Did he just give up what his password is by saying my mother's maiden name? No, that's how much I'm thinking about this. That's how foolproof what I'm saying is. It has nothing to do with my mother's maiden name. Or does it? I'm secure. I'm a secure guy. If that didn't just show it to you, I'm a secure fucking guy. Even if I'm not secure, I'll play so many games in your head, you won't even have fun. The word game that typically in human nature, in the human language, or the English language, is synonymous with a good time and smiling. The word game will become synonymous with frowning, with anger, with frustration very quickly. The way I can just get in someone's head and scramble their wires. What is it are we protecting from? Like, what is it? Do you really think, is there that big of a market of people going out there like, yeah, so what we do here is we hack into low-level corporate employees' laptops using their password that they haven't changed in the last 4 weeks, and we steal company documents that way. Okay, if there is such an organization that makes their money doing that they feed their children and take their children to hockey practice on the backs of breaking into the computers of low-level corporate employees, if such an entity exists, I have a couple more questions as to why exactly are we so concerned about that. First things first, if that exists and there is profit to be had and money to be made hacking in and stealing the passwords of corporate employees, it would stand to reason you would have a lot more to gain if you were one of these hackers, if you got into a higher-up's computer, right? Like if you're getting into the CFOs or the CTOs or the executive vice president's computer, you're guessing it's their kid's name plus the year they were born and bingo, you're in. You're probably stumbling on a little bit of a gold mine there. When you hack into the lowest of the low-level engineers, a la myself, when you're hacking into the computer of the kid who started a month and a half ago, you're stumbling, not a gold mine, you're stumbling into like a bag of peanuts, a couple quarters, maybe a laundry detergent pod. That's about it. That's all you're getting. You get the CTO, you get an executive, okay, sure, there's some data that can be sold there, maybe 4 or 5, who knows, 6 figures depending what kind of PDFs and PowerPoints you stumble across. You go into mine, all you're going to see is Google searches for Michigan State football recruiting news. Like, you're not selling that. Oh, this kid Googles Michigan State when he's at work. Nobody's buying that. That's not paying for ice time. That's not even coming close to paying for ice time. God forbid you live in a warmer climate. Dude, you're not even sniffing ice time. You can't have a practice with the money you'd get for selling that. And to be quite frank, I'm not sure there's anybody out there that's interested in what's on my computer that would even pay you a dime. So why, again, I ask, am I changing my fucking password once a month? Why? Who is breaking in? Who? And another thing, if someone was like, no, not the CTO, not the CEO, not a vice president, not an executive, no, we need this low-level engineer's password. We need to get into his computer. We need to see the documents on that hard drive. There are so many better ways to do it. Like, if you wanted to hack my computer, I don't want to tell on myself here. Like, you know, I don't want to give you the key to my Pandora's box. There are so many better ways to hack my computer. Like, you're going to go through, you're going to try and watch over my shoulder or try and guess my password based on facts about me. On the login screen, the computer, the like company login screen, dude, can't you just go through like my Gmail and probably, if you're like a JV level hacker, I would imagine you can just go into my Gmail and you have every password I've ever used if you have like half a clue of what you're doing. But I gotta change my desktop password once a month. Google, Facebook, Twitter, everything I've ever used, all my credit cards, all my debit cards, everything is connected on there. Everything is connected to my Gmail accounts. God forbid, God forbid the calendar changes and my desktop still has the same password. Like, I really just don't understand it. And this is all assuming that there is some kind of fantasy world where people are out there scouring for desktop company corporate laptop logins. Like, I don't think that exists. The scammers, if you're trying to fuck people over and make money, you're calling them up, telling them your dad, who's the Prince of Nigeria, died and needs $5,000 to cover the funeral. Like, that's how you're making your money. You're saying, look, I listed this incredible apartment for half the price of every apartment in the area, and it looks better than all of them too. Don't ask me how. I work here now for my job, and I figured I'd cut you a deal. I just want to make sure you're reliable. I know, crazy, right? Half the price of every other apartment in the area, and it's nicer than all of them. That's unbelievable. But no, it's legit. That's what scammers are doing. They're not sitting there like, oh, shit. I think it's his birth year. I think it's his birth year and where he went to high school. Like, fuck. You might have a PowerPoint on there that he doesn't fully understand, but it might be there. Like, what's going on? It just creates so much work, such a burden and such a hassle that it really, I mean, it spawns conversations like this. It spawns and forces me to come onto a podcast and talk about how senseless it is that on a monthly basis I'm asked to change my password when there really is zero risk to me having the same password. I could work a corporate job, and there's people out there, they've been in the same job 30, 40 years. You could work the same corporate job for 40 fucking years in a row and never change your password. And I'd put my life down that you're not getting hacked over your desktop login. If you're getting hacked, it's because you clicked on the link that said, watch this video without your pants. That's why you're getting hacked, because you're a sick bastard, because you don't have any control, because you're a sicko. That's why you're getting hacked, not because you use the street name you grew up on as your desktop password. That's not why. Your company's going under and your CEO's going to jail for fraud and misleading the shareholders because you clicked on that sketchy link that said you can get Nike Travis Scott Off-White Jordans for $200 instead of the retail price of $5,000. That's why your company's going under. Not because your dog who died when you were 6 is the same thing as your password on your desktop. Like, we gotta really look at ourselves in the mirror here from a company security, a corporate security standpoint. I don't know if it's the folks in IT writing these rules. I don't know if it's the head of these corporations coming up with these ideas. I don't know who it is. Honestly, I don't care. What I do care about is let's do the right thing and let's stop forcing us to change passwords constantly, because you start burning through passwords. Next thing you know, was it this password or was it that password? Or it could have been this password. And don't get me started on capital letters and special symbols. Did I have an exclamation point in there? Was that a capital? Or is that a lowercase? Or were they both lowercase? All of a sudden, those maybe 2 or 3 passwords that you use for most things, all of a sudden that becomes 20, 25, 30 passwords. Next thing you know, you have one guess remaining, and guess what? It's going to be the second time in 2 months you email your pal in HR saying, you're never going to believe this. I got locked out of my computer again because I forgot my password. Like, we're just creating work. Who are we keeping out? Who are we keeping out? The Joker? Is there some kind of Joker that wants to watch the world burn via logging into my corporate machine? Is that it? If you want to take down massive corporations, I promise you, there's better ways to do it than hacking into the random engineer's fucking computer. And again, I don't know how they would receive that information. I'm not online. It's like my desktop when you turn the computer on. The only way somebody would know the password is either if I told them or if they watched me discreetly type it in. I don't think anybody's watching me. I'm not telling anybody, because guess what? Nobody fucking cares, because nobody's trying to hack in to my corporate computer with my desktop password. So for the love of God, for the love of everything that's holy, for the love of making people in corporate America's lives that much easier, can we do away with the mandatory password changing every month. I mean, honestly, what are we doing? It's not like changing a lock in middle school. Like, there's little fuckboys in middle school that are watching like, I'm going to steal his password and break in and take a shit in his locker. Okay, I get it in middle school. Yeah, let's change those locks. Let's change those passwords. We're in the corporate workforce. Like, nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to actually do more work than they already have to. Oh, I got to do my job and worry about a million things every day. And on top of that, let me add one more thing to my plate. Let me try to figure out what this dude's password is. Let me see if I can fucking hack into the PowerPoints on this kid's work computer. Not my personal computer. Let's see if I can hack into his work computer, dude. Let's see what they talked about in that meeting on Tuesday. Let's see what attachments came over in some emails today. Like, what? Do you know how crazy that sounds? Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. It just adds work. It just adds nuisance. Like, what notifications do you get in the corporate world that are more annoying than, oh, time to change your password? And I know everybody listening out there, you have a company computer, you're in a super corporate job. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, it's February 1st. Hey, it's time. You got a week left to change that password. And if you don't change it in time, your computer is going to lock you out. Like, that's the other thing. They punish you so hard. I'd be punished more for not changing my password than I would be if I ran my computer over. Honestly, I'm punished more, or I'd be punished more for not changing my password than if I went around to everyone in my office and just told them my password. Oh, you forgot to change your password? Guess what? You can't use your computer ever again. Oh, you told everybody in the office your password? All right. Probably shouldn't do that, but it's cool. Nobody actually cares because nobody does care. Because nobody's trying to hack into a computer with a corporate the desktop password. Because nobody, even if they wanted to, they'd be like, dude, why would I do it that way? There's a million other ways I could do it. That's like saying, hey, what's the definition of coaster? The things you put your hot coffee mugs on. What's the definition of that? Well, I guess I just gave you the definition. Let me give you another. What's the definition of lamp? And instead of pulling out Google and typing in what does lamp mean, you're like, oh, I don't know, dude, but let me hop in the car. Let me run down to the library. I'll check out one of their Webster dictionaries. I'll come back. I'll find lamp. I'll write it out for you on another piece of paper. I'll bring that back for you. I'll go back to the library or return the book, and then we can talk about the definition. Like, you're just making everything way more complicated if you're a hacker out there and you're trying to hack in to a corporate database or just someone's personal stuff through their work desktop. Just do Gmail. And I don't want to give hackers any tips because hackers are the worst. You're a scumbag. Do something productive with your life. But honest to God, like if you're a hacker, and this isn't even meant to be demeaning or I don't want to kill anybody's dreams here, right? Positive vibes. I want everybody to do what they love and find something they're good at and really chase it down. And in the spirit of that, if you're a hacker out there, if you're out there trying to scam people for money, or you're trying to blackmail an enormous Fortune 500 corporation, or whatever the case is, whatever gets you off in the scamming world, and you're out here doing that or attempting to do that via hacking into low-level engineers' computers with their desktop password, might be time to try something else. It might be time to hang up the keyboard. It might be time to try your hand at maybe the Nigerian prince scam. Right? It might be time to say you need to renew your car insurance. It might be time to say you have this incredible new cable offer and all you need is the person's credit card. If you're trying to make a quick buck or ruin lives or blackmail companies and your first thought is, let's go find this dude that is hanging on by a thread interest-wise at his job, that has almost no significance to the company, that certainly has received nothing of value to that company in the last, since he's worked there, his entire employment. If your first thought is, let me go try and figure out what his login is to his computer password versus let me trace it through Google, let me do some IP address, let me find his credit card, whatever hacker shit exists. If your first thought is, let's do the desktop route, it's, oh, he probably didn't change his password this month. Let's fuck this guy over. If that's your first thought, That's the first strategy to hacking. Hang it up. The scam artist thing, this con, it's not for you. Like, find something else. Maybe go be a trash man. Like I said, maybe try the Nigerian print scheme. Try something, right? Maybe get into religion. Maybe go for a run. I don't know. Try maybe cooking. Try something else, because you really are the worst hacker on the planet. If you're a hacker out there, and me changing my password due to corporate policy once a month is what's preventing you from getting all of my information, you really are the worst at your, pound for pound, you are the worst at your profession compared to everybody else on the planet. Honestly. Honest to God. It could be you and a sushi chef who has never served a customer without them getting diarrhea, and you might be worse at your job than that guy. Honest to God. So why are we changing the passwords once a month? Those people don't exist. There is no sushi. There is no sushi. I can't say sushi. There is no sushi chef. That is a very difficult tongue twister. There is no sushi. That's impossible. That's impossible to say. There is no sushi chef. 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 There is no sushi chef working today in the restaurant workforce, all the way from a Michelin 5-star down to a 0-star. All the best Yelp reviews to their Yelp page got banned off the internet because the reviews were so vile. There is not a sushi chef that exists who's giving his customer diarrhea every time they eat his tuna roll. Just like there is no scammer that is depending on me not changing my password once a month in my corporate computer. So let's save us all the hassle. We already deal with enough stupid corporate stuff anyway. Let's just leave the password. I got a million passwords for everything else. Let's just keep the password that's critical to me logging into my work computer to do work for you. Let's just keep that part easy. How's that sound? Can we do us all a favor here? Quit it with the changing passwords. That's all I got today, folks. Appreciate everybody listening. Appreciate everybody watching on YouTube. This is the first one going up on the Teeb. More to come. Detroiters will be up here. This rest of the second strings will be up here. I'm just going to record all of them from now on. So hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks everybody listening, sharing, supporting, subscribing, this, that, the other thing. We'll be back on this feed Friday. The Detroiter episode came out yesterday. Another one coming out tomorrow, Thursday. We'll see you then.